Yes, good morning, children. So today we are going to continue the play Mother's Day, and we'll be starting from page number 46. But before that, whatever we have already done, that in nutshell again. So first of all, Mrs. Fitzgerald, she convinces Mrs. Pearson about her lost status in the family and tells her that she must do something to get her lost respect back. So Mrs. Pearson is a weak person and she cannot even, uh, take initiative because she has always been, struggling to take initiative. She has always been able, she has never been able to make out like when to start and how to start. So Mrs. Fitzgerald offers her help and tells her that she can do it as Pearson. And her meaning was that she would use magic and would become Pearson and Pearson would become Fitzgerald. So after a lot of hesitation, Mrs. Pearson agrees and Mrs. Fitzgerald uses magic and they switch personalities from one to another. Okay, so when they are able to switch personalities and Mrs. Fitzgerald, her voice becomes like Mrs. Pearson, but her attitude is like that of Mrs. Fitzgerald only, right? So, and Mrs. Pearson from within, she remains Mrs. Pearson, but outwardly and voice kinds, she appears to be Fitzgerald, but actually she's, Mrs. Pearson only. Then Mrs. Fitzgerald, who takes over as Mrs. Pearson, takes charge. First of all, Doris comes. She is, given a proper dose. Doris and Cyril, both kids, daughter and boy. Both kids are actually, very spoiled kids. They are the, you can say, pampered brats, okay, by Mrs. Pearson only. And now Mrs. Fitzgerald gives them the right dose and they are almost on the verge of crying. Because the children, those who have always been pampered, they would never ever experience, they would never ever imagine how to do the things on their own. The fact is that Mrs. Fitzgerald did not say much to any of these two. The thing is that she only told these two kids only the reality, like what they were doing. And that was even, something unimaginable for these kids. And they were totally shocked. But still, these kids had one hope that when father would come, then their mother would not be able to behave like that. So they were waiting for their father and Mr. George, Mrs. Pearson's husband. He also comes, and the moment he finds that his daughter had been crying, so he asks Mrs. Pearson like what the matter was, and he also gets a very flat answer, and slowly and gradually, Mr. George is also given the right kind of dose which he always deserved. What kind of dose was he given? Like Mr. George had been neglecting his wife, ignoring his wife throughout the married life. Okay, he had always been going out in the evening to play a game of chess or something else with his friends at the club. He never bothered to look after his wife. He never bothered to see whether what his wife wanted. He always left her alone at home and went out and would come very late at night also. So today, Mrs. Fitzgerald told Mr. George his mistake by telling him that he had been spending the time with the people who always make fun of him, thereby ignoring his wife who takes so much of care of him, the one who never ever makes fun of him. So Mr. George is also given the right kind of treatment, the way the children had been given. So finally, when the whole family, is at, you can say, sixes and nines, the point is that it's not that now the family was disturbed. The point is that the family had always been disturbed. And today, Mrs. Fitzgerald is giving them the right dose so that the family comes to track. Meanwhile, the real Mrs. Pearson, she had a great difficulty in being out because she could not imagine like what might have been happening in her family. So she comes back and when she knocks at the door, then Cyril opens the door. He doesn't know that this is her mother. He tells Mrs. Fitzgerald that the silly old bag has come. So whom does he refer to as silly old bag? he calls Mrs. Fitzgerald as silly old bag on her face because he doesn't know who is who. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is acting like Mrs. Pearson, she scolds him and tells him to talk sensibly. Cyril again felt insulted in front of the outsider and leaves. Okay, then George will come. And you can imagine, like, the men never want like their family things are discussed in front of the outsiders. For Mr. George, this Mrs. Pearson is an outsider yet. Can anyone tell me, like, how is Mrs. Pearson an outsider for Mr. George? How is Mrs. Pearson an outsider for Mr. George? Who will tell? Raise hand. Why is, okay, many children, they are raising hand. Okay, Riddhi, Simriddhi. Who else? Okay, Simriddhi, give answer.
Ma'am, Miss Pearson is appearing as Miss Fitzgerald from the magic that Miss Fitzgerald had done on them. So George is thinking that she is an outsider.
Right. You are very right, Simriddhi. Well done. So for Mr. George, Mrs. Pearson is an outsider because he Pearson is looking like Mrs. Fitzgerald. How would he know that she is his wife only? So he doesn't want that the family issues are discussed in front of her, in front of an outsider. So he tells Mrs. Fitzgerald, that is Mrs. Pearson, to be quiet. But Mrs. Fitzgerald is not quiet. At this, Mr. George then shouts at the top of his voice because he knows that when he will shout, then his wife will be snubbed. But Mrs. Fitzgerald is not that kind of woman who could be easily snubbed. She shouts at even more harsh terms than even Mr. George. So Mr. George is finally insulted. The purpose of Mrs. Fitzgerald was not to insult Mr. George, but the purpose was to tell him, like, if that the woman is not, that no one is supposed to be snubbed by anyone. If you are not right, if you cannot behave yourself, then you need not shout at others. So this is what we are going to do now. Like, how is Mr. George snubbed by Mrs. Fitzgerald? Okay, now we will see how Mr. George is treated by Mrs. Fitzgerald in front of Mrs. Pearson. Right, that is a major action now. And after this, after when Mr. George has been tackled 100, so far Mr. George has been given 50% dose. What was that dose? Like, he had been ignoring his wife, but still he needs to be taught the manners as to how to treat his wife at home. Right, and that Mrs. Fitzgerald will do. And finally, Mrs. Pearson, she will see that her whole family is disturbed. Everybody is crying, including her husband has become very upset. Then she will request Mrs. Fitzgerald to switch back. And Mrs. Fitzgerald will agree, but she will give her warning. What warning will she give her? Let us see. Okay, so all of you please remain attentive. So here it is, page number 46. We have to see from like how when Mrs. Pearson in the guise of Mrs. Fitzgerald comes, then what happens? Cyril re-enters left, ushering in Mrs. Fitzgerald, who hesitates in the doorway. So why is Mrs. Fitzgerald hesitating in the doorway? Because this Mrs. Fitzgerald is not the Fitzgerald, it is Pearson. And as it is characteristic of this woman, she's always the one who lacks confidence. So come in, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So this is Pearson who calls her like this. So then Cyril says, like, if everything is all right, Mrs. Fitzgerald says, if everything is all right. Cyril says, no, it isn't. So sharply, of course it is. You be quiet. Then Cyril felt insulted and he speaks. Why should I be quiet? Because I tell you to, you silly, spoiled young python. Then Mrs. Fitzgerald protesting nervously. Oh, no, surely. So here Mrs. Fitzgerald is protesting nervously. So Mrs. Fitzgerald is Pearson. She does not like the way her son had been scolded by Mrs. Fitzgerald. So she tries to defend him. Oh, no, surely. So again, here we can see that Mrs. Pearson is again becoming soft. That is typical of a mother. Okay, the mothers may scold their kids a lot on their own, but when somebody else scolds the kids, no one ever likes it. And Mrs. Pearson is the one who herself never scolded her children. Now, when somebody else is scolding her kid, how can she tolerate? But this is wrong. That's why Mrs. Pearson had always been, exploited. Then Mrs. Pearson, swearly. Now, Mrs. Fitzgerald, just let me manage my family in my own way, please. Got it? So even Mrs. Pearson is being scolded now. Even Mrs. Pearson is told how to behave. So we discussed in the very beginning that if the family exploits the mother or wife, not because it's only their mistake, equal mistake is of Mrs. Pearson. She is too lenient. So that is why Mrs. Fitzgerald tells her to not to interfere in her matters. Yes, but Cyril, sulky and glowing. Mr. Cyril Pearson, to you, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So when Mrs. Pearson addresses Cyril as Cyril, then Cyril corrects her by saying that for you, I am Mr. Cyril Pearson. Is that clear? So for the outsider, we must address the outside people like them with their full name and all. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, moving to the Sati, whispering, oh dear, what's happening? So Pearson, nothing much, just putting them in their places. That's all, doing what you ought to have done long since. So this is the response of Mrs. Fitzgerald. So when she's asked like, what's going on? What's happening? Then what's her answer? Like nothing much. But actually a lot is being done. Just putting them in their places. So what she is actually doing only, she's only putting them in the right place, right? But putting something in the right place sometimes becomes a big issue when the things are not being done in time. Okay, when you keep on postponing the things, when you keep on delaying the matters, when you keep on thinking like this will be done some other day, then one day comes when you are not able to do it very easily. It takes a lot of efforts. Doing what you ought to have done long since. Is George home? She sits beside Mrs. Pearson on the settee. Yes, I have been telling him what they think of him at the club. So see this? So Mrs. Fitzgerald is very proud. She says that even I have told him like what they think of him at the club. Well, they think a lot of him, don't they? Okay. So Mrs. Fitzgerald says, who is Pearson? Well, they think a lot of him, don't they? So what does it mean? So the wife is saying that, yes, my husband is respected a lot in the club. No, they don't. And now he knows it, right? So then Mrs. Fitzgerald answers, oh dear, I wish you hadn't. So Mrs. Pearson is again unhappy that she's unhappy about the matter, like why Mrs. Fitzgerald told reality to Mr. George. Now here we get to know one thing more. What is that? That the wife also knew this thing. Mrs. Pearson also knew how his husband is being treated at the club, but she never had the guts to tell the reality to her husband. What kind of family is it? What kind of family values are these where the family doesn't tell the fact or the reality to the other members of the family? Right? So these kinds of things, are the reasons that where we can say that Mrs. Pearson is fully responsible for this kind of condition. Then nonsense. Doing them all a world of good, and they'll be eating out of your hands soon, you'll see. So Mrs. Fitzgerald again becomes very annoyed. She says that, okay, you keep on doing them good, and one day they'll eat out of your hand very soon. Means one day they'll eat you up. One day they'll kill you. I don't think I want them eating out of my hand. So then this is what Mrs. Pearson says, that I don't think they will kill me like this impatiently. Well, whatever you want, they will be doing it. All three of them, mark my words, Mrs. Pearson. So here Mrs. Pearson tells her, whatever you want, they'll be doing. So point is, Mrs. Fitzgerald says, Like if you do what I am telling you to do, then that way they will do what you will want them to do. Basically, if the mother or the wife or if the head of the family, that is a woman, most of the times people say head of the family is husband, man. It's not so. The point is, if you want a family to be on the right track, if you want that the children should be doing well, if you want like the whole system in the family should be all right, then you should call your mothers as the head of the family, because it is they who are the managers of the house. Okay, point is not whether mothers are working or not. The point is because children are more close to their mothers, and even mother happens to be the manager. So the person who is able to manage the family well, point is not about gender parity or gender inequality. The point is like what, who will have the key to home's happiness. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is Pearson, says that if children or the family will do what you want, so mark my words, George enters. Now George has come. Let's see. He is unpleasantly surprised when he sees the visitor. So he was not expecting that Mrs. Fitzgerald might have come. So he moves to the armchair left, sits down heavily and glumly lights his pipe. Then he looks from Mrs. Pearson to Mrs. Fitzgerald, who is regarding him anxiously. So he comes, George comes, and he was not expecting that at this time the neighbor might have come. Then he comes and sits down, and then he looks from one woman to another, and then he finds that Mrs. Fitzgerald is looking at him very anxiously. So that was actually his wife was looking at him anxiously. But how would he know this? Then George just looked at for a minute, I suppose, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So when you don't want somebody at your house for a long time, then this is the way one can say like this. Just looked in for a minute, I suppose, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Means George says like, Mrs. Fitzgerald, have you come in just for a minute, I guess? Then Mrs. Fitzgerald says, who doesn't know what she's saying. Well, yes, I suppose so, George. So this woman is actually Pearson, you know this? So she immediately gets confused and she says, yes, I suppose George. So what is wrong over here? Okay, it is wrong to address outsider like this without a title. So basically the neighbor would be addressing him like Mr. George Pearson, but okay. George? Oh, I'm sorry, then Pearson. What does it matter? Your name is George, isn't it? Who do you think you are? Duke of Edinburgh. So Mrs. Pearson, doesn't like this man to be very proud of himself like this. So she corrects him, George, angrily. What's he got to do with it? What has he got to do with it? Just tell me that. And isn't it bad enough without her calling me George? No tea, Pompey Pearson. And poor Doris has been crying her eyes out upstairs. Yes, crying her eyes out. So now George becomes very angry because he had been pinpointed by his wife in front of the neighbor. So when you do this kind of thing to the man, then his ego is hurt and he tries to insult Mrs. that is his wife in front of the neighbor like this. Got it? Mrs. Fitzgerald, wailing, oh dear, I ought to have known. George, staring at her, you ought to have known. Why ought you to have known? Nothing to do with you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Look, we are all at 6s and 7s just now, so perhaps you'll excuse us. So George corrects her that she had nothing to worry about because she is an outsider, and moreover, our family is right now very disturbed. It is at 6s and 7s, so kindly excuse us. So he is flatly telling her to leave. Then Mrs. Pearson, before Mrs. Fitzgerald can reply, I won't excuse you, George Pearson. Next time a friend and a neighbor comes to see me, just to say something when you see her, good evening or how do you do or something, and don't just march in and sit down without a word. It's bad manners. So see how Mrs. Fitzgerald is giving George a dose. She's even telling him the manners, right? So she says like, when my friend comes in, then don't just come and sit and don't just come and sit without permission. You can wish my friend good morning, good evening. Then afterwards, because if you sit in like this, then it's bad manners. Then Fitzgerald, no, it's all right. Pearson, no, it isn't at all. will have some decent mannerisms in the house, or I'll know the reason why glaring at George. Well, so Mrs. Pearson says, no, it's not all right. The fact is that we need to have manners in the house and everybody will follow them. Then she looks at Mr. George and says, well, so George is intimidated. Well, what? Taunting him. Why don't you get off to your club? Special night tonight, isn't it? They'll be waiting for you, wanting to have a good laugh. Go on then. Don't disappoint them. So what is Mrs. Fitzgerald doing? She is now telling Mr. George to go to club where the people might be waiting to laugh at him. So here the thing is that she knows that what she had told him, that reality might have started working. And we'll see now. What do you think? Will George go to the club today? What do you think? Will George go to the club, Jatin? Yes, Samriddhi. Jatin, will George go to the club? Jatin, yes. Okay, Shreya. Shreya. Those who are listening to me, they raise hand. Those who are listening to me, they raise hand. Okay. Yes. Okay. So those who are listening to me, raise hand. Don't put your hand down. Let it be like this. So Chirag is not listening. Arship Singh is not listening. Anmol is not listening. Yuvraj Virdi is not. Take the screenshot now, Manat. Just a minute, Manat. Wait. Let us wait for 1 second more. Attendance is being taken. Raise your hands, those who are listening. Unraised hands will be marked absent. Okay, Manat, take the attendance immediately. Okay. Okay, now you can lower your hands. So we were talking about like, will George go to the club? Let's see. So go on, don't disappoint them, George, bitterly. That's right. Make me look silly in front of her now. Go on, don't mind me. 6s and 7s, poor Doris being crying her eyes out, getting the neighbors into see the fun. Means you are you're getting the neighbors in front of you to have all fun, suddenly losing his temper. So then he becomes very angry, glaring at Mrs. Pearson and shouting. He's looking at the neighbor and is shouting. See. All right, let her hear it. What's the matter with you? Have you gone balmy or what? So now George uses the last, weapon. What's the last weapon of these kinds of men? Shouting in front of the outsiders. Because now he thinks that if his wife is discussing the matters in front of the outsider, then why can't he insult her also? So he insults her in front of the neighbor. He tells her like, have you gone mad or something? So if you shout at me, then now see Mrs. Pearson, this is Fitzgerald, jumping up savagely. If you shout at me again like that, George Pearson, I'll slap your big fat silly face. So this is what a woman would never do in this kind of family. But because this is Mrs. Fitzgerald, so she said like, if you do this again, if you again shout like this, then you'll be slapped. Though it is too much, but unless it is done, this kind of man would not come to the senses. Fitzgerald moaning, oh no, 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 please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. Then George staring at her, bewildered. Either I am off my chump or you two are. How do you mean? No, no, please, Mrs. Fitzgerald. So are you getting, why is George saying this? Like either I have gone mad or you people have. So what makes him say this? What makes him say this? Who will tell? Japanjot will tell. Japanjot, tell.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you got the question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hmm.
Ma'am, because Fitzgerald, that is Mrs. Pearson, she only told in front of George, Mrs. Pearson as Mrs. Fitzgerald.
Hmm. Yes, for George, it was an enigma. How could he make out, like, why is Mrs. Fitzgerald addressing Pearson as Fitzgerald? So he gets confused. He says, like, how? What do you mean by this? So look, you are Mrs. Fitzgerald. So why are you telling yourself to stop when you're not doing anything? Tell her to stop. Then there would be some sense in it. Staring at Mrs. Pearson, I think you must be tiddly. So starting savagely, say that again, George Pearson. So she's warning him, like, speak again. Tell me again, tell me that I am mad. Speak again. No, George, intimidated, like warned. All right, all right, all right. So he's also scared and he becomes quiet. So Doris enters left slowly, looking miserable. She is still wearing the wrap. Mrs. Pearson sits on the settle. So then Mr. Pearson, you have seen George Pearson, he has got a little, snubbed. Now Doris has come. So children, Doris has also been given the, you can say 50% dose she has been given. What was the dose given to her? She has been told that what she had been doing, that is wrong. Now the point is, did that affect her? Will she leave that, who that person was? Charlie Spence. So will she leave him? The point is, will she not go out today? Let's see. So when she enters, she is in her wrap. So she is in the process of dressing up, but she is not ready. So Mrs. Fitzgerald. Hello, dear Doris. So this is mother only. Doris, miserably. Hello, Mrs. Fitzgerald. I thought you were going out with Charlie Spence tonight. So she said, like, I thought you were going out with Charlie Spence tonight. Doris, annoyed. What's that to do with you? Stop that. Mrs. Fitzgerald, nervously. No, it's all right. So Mrs. Pearson, severely, it isn't all right. I won't have a daughter of mine talking to anybody like that. Now answer Mrs. Fitzgerald properly. Doris, or go to upstairs again. So have you got it, like how Doris is talking to the outsider, or is Doris behaving with the neighbor? So we'll be reading it out tomorrow. Okay.